Grind gang? How you living, baby? We back here on the daily grind. The almost daily grind now. I'm working on like a new, I think it's gonna be like Rodtheplanter's daily grind? I don't know. It's back, okay? The grind is back. I'm here for you. Today, and the rest of this week, we're talking about cool ways to use your brain. And today I talked about time perception. Your brain's like ability to go back into the past, jump into the future, and to be in the present moment. Where your power lies in each one of those places, how to get back and forth, all that, man. How to master your time perception. That's what today is about. I appreciate you checking us out over here at the Daily Grind. I love you so much. Please tune in for the rest of the week when we're talking about all this other cool stuff too. And I hope to see you there.
And then my grind game. Hey, I just ran the light, blowing the Maui, going to Cali, catching a flight. Gotta get right, yeah, what? Never miss right. I just be lighting the lime, green spinach, I got it like Popeye. Neighborhood rock, got a rock.
We've been on a ride, man. I've been on a wave, been making things happen. Shit's been popping off for me. I hope it's been popping off for you as well, right? Like the Daily Grind is a show where I try and come out here and I try and teach people about how to have a powerful mindset, you know, how to have a powerfully positive mindset. And what that can do for you in your daily life. And like I said, really how to cultivate that so that it's not always just about success. You know, it's not about making money, but it's about really truly living a fulfilled and happy life. You know, like enjoying the moments and the time that you have here on this planet and not getting bogged down with bullshit and worries and stresses. You know, this is a ride, this is an experience, this is a gift that we're given in life. And sometimes we just lose our way with that. You know, sometimes we start to define it as so many different things that aren't, you know, really fulfilling. And so that's what I like to try and come on here and do is teach you a little bit about how your mind works, teach you a little bit about how we perceive the world, and then how that in turn like creates our experience for ourselves, right? And so in line with that, this week I wanted to come through and I wanted to do this cool little breakdown, man. So for the next like week or so, I'm just gonna come probably every other day and we're gonna talk about cool ways to use your brain. And that's what the show has generally always been about, right? But I really want to break it down into some like specific superpowers that I've noticed that we have as like human beings, right? This is stuff that is really self-evident. You can study it for yourself and look on, you know, do some research on these things as we talk about them, but they're things that just, you can really see them for yourself and you know that they work. And then I want to teach you how they work, because if you don't quite understand these superpowers, it's a really like a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? Like these things could unlock your greatest potential and create, you know, everything that you want for you, or it could really oppress you and turn against you if you don't, like I said, cultivate these little processes and take care of them, right? Your brain is a machine. It's like a computer, right? And just like anything else, it needs upkeep. You know, it needs maintenance. It needs care. You got to take care of your mind. And so we're going to talk about how do we take care of these little processes that our mind has. So today is about one process only, and that is time perception. Man, time perception. This shit is crazy, dog. Like, do you understand that as a human being, hold on, let me type this in here. You have a very unique gift of time perception, a unique gift that not all animals on the planet share with you, right? Like your dog can't like come up with plans for next week. You know what I mean? Like your dog has no plans for next week. Doesn't even really know if it's gonna be here next week as far as I can tell. My dog just lays there and eats. Whenever I put food there, it eats. But it can't foreplan, right? And the same thing too, like your cat can't reminisce about the past, or at least not that we can tell, right? Your cat can't remember that great road trip y'all had 6 years ago to the Grand Canyon, right? Humans have this very, very unique ability to travel in time, right? And only in our conscious, obviously we haven't figured out how to teleport our physical being through time and space, right? And so that's not what I'm talking about. But like I was saying earlier, we're talking about the mind. And in the mind, we have this conscious ability to travel time. And that's awesome. That's so fascinating. There's so many different cool things you can do with that, right? But this is one of the biggest ones and easiest ones to get lost in, right? And so I think first, before I kind of tell you how I've learned to manipulate my ability of time perception, I'll talk a little bit of how I see most people and what happens with most people in their ability to travel time. A lot of us don't spend time calibrating that power in us to do that, right? And so what happens to some of us is we start to gravitate to a certain pole, and then we get stuck there. And so like, let's say that this is the future. Like you can see all the way to year 3000. And right now, let's just do a little experiment, just so you guys can get a feel of what I'm talking about. Picture the year 3000 right now, right? We're in 2019. I want you to take a second and just use your imagination. What do you think 3019 looks like? What do you see in your mind? You know, I see skyscrapers that are like 70 feet tall. I see flying cars. I see little like implants you put in your brain, and your cell phone is just in your mind and you just like blink to like scroll. These are the things that come to me in my imagination, right? They're not real, obviously, right? We're just thinking them up, but that's cool that I have the ability in my brain to picture what the year 3000 might look like, right? And then now let's go backwards. Most of us have graduated high school, or maybe you haven't graduated high school, but you're like in, do you remember when you were in elementary school? Like, can you remember playing on the playground and like being with your friends and like digging around in the dirt or anything like that? Can you remember going to prom? I can. I didn't go to prom. I skipped my prom and we had like a house party, but I remember all those things. And I can really, if I spend time and like get into like meditation or really, really spend some time thinking about it, I could really feel like I'm there again. I really can transport my whole consciousness back to what it's like to be a kid, or what it was like when I fell, or when I got my first heartbreak, or something like that, right? And so like that's what I'm talking about, is this ability for us to be in all these different things. And then the last one is the present, right? Right now, we are experiencing a moment, and we can be here. Like, we're here. Some of you are getting ready or working out at the gym, and so you're kind of here. You're not like fully present consciously here. You're thinking about something else, but you have the ability to be here, right? If I snap and I say, real quick, just pay attention to me. Pay attention to the next 5 words I say, right? Now you're here, right? And so that's being in the present moment. So cool. We have this ability to go back and forth, but what happens most time? What do you see happen to a lot of people with this superpower? It's a goddamn superpower, but don't you see this turn against people a lot? You ever see some people in your life, and maybe you, who are like stuck in the past? Like it's like they can never seem to enjoy what's going on right now, or even have like a bright look towards the future, because they're always stuck in some moment or some trauma, or reliving an old glory. You ever seen those people like back in my high school days, I was a champion. Man, I was the best. I throw this pigskin over that mountain. And we're like, yeah, but what about right now? Yeah, man, but I broke my leg and it just hasn't been the same for me since. That was my shot. It's passed me up. Now I'm just waiting to die. There's people like that, right? You've seen these people who feel like their shot's gone or whatever, like that was their moment, and they're just living in this person and this time that was a long time ago and is no longer right this second, right? And then it really, as you'll learn and we'll talk about over the rest of this conversation, has no bearing whatsoever on who you are and what you're doing right this second. Has no bearing, but that's where they live. And so we pull those things into the present, right? And then there's those other people, and I've been this person. This is who I used to be, like no cap. Like there's the other person who's always looking towards the future, always stuck in what could be next and what's gonna come. I gotta get here and gotta make this happen and gotta get to the next level. And when I get this car, life's gonna be amazing. When I get this relationship, life's gonna be amazing. When everything in all my amazing, everything that I like want and dream and wish for is in the future. And so I'm always looking to the future to get there, to get to the next thing and what comes next, and always plotting and worrying about what's gonna happen next. Oh no, what if, those are the what if peoples, right? What if this happens? Well, what if we don't have enough money? Well, what if Trump wins? Well, what if, those are the what if peoples, and they're stuck there. And so we can see that sometimes if you don't know how to like maneuver through this ability of past and present and future, you can kind of get calibrated or stuck somewhere. Maybe always looking to the future, expecting something, or always looking to the past. And why is that bad? Well, because this is what always seems to get lost, right? It's this present moment that always seems to get lost. Even me now, as I've tried to like master and manipulate and learn how to use this power, I forget about the present moment all the time too. You're always thinking about, like I said, what's next? Or what happened? Dang, I wish I could have done this differently. Or what if I had made this happen then? And and you're always bouncing back and forth. And so I'm not telling you that present moment is where you want to be, right? But I have noticed that most people lack the ability to get to the present moment, you know? They're stuck in the future or the past, and that you don't want. What I want to teach you about today and the ability to how to master is how to move freely from each, right? And kind of where the power lies in being in your past in your conscious, and being present in your consciousness, and then being in the future in your consciousness. You know, each one of those places, if you will, or those times in space have a benefit, have an ability to you, but if you don't use them in the proper place, the proper way, it can really destroy you, like we just talked about. It can cause so much stress, so much worry, so much grief and resentment, and you know what I mean? Like living in the past, all these things can just torment a person and really poison what it means to be alive, right? Because really, the power is in your present moment, right? The power this is gone. So this is really, I found, most forgotten, right? It's most forgotten. It's like process and then catalog. You ever had a database? You know, people put file things. Like you probably at your house, you have a filing cabinet. And you keep things like just in case you might need them. But really on like a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, you don't even go in there. I don't go in my filing cabinet, but when I file my taxes. Like every year when I file my taxes, I'm like, oh shit, we gotta go out there and get last year's tax shit. But that's how I feel about the past. You know, every now and then I gotta go back and I gotta reminisce about something, some joy or something to like inspire me or motivate me. Or sometimes I gotta go back and remember a lesson that I learned so I don't repeat my mistakes. But I found that the past is really no place to live, because the past is dead time, right? Everything lives and dies, right? And so if you think about time too as in this continuous cycle of life and death, the past is dead time. And you don't want to hang around the dead. Dead lacks energy. And so, you know, the past is just a very dead time, very dead energy. Hanging out there is probably just going to cause you a lot of pain and grief, and you don't need it. So I just don't really hang out in my past, man. It's present and future for me, right? Like I said, forgetting your past, ignoring your past can hurt you, because it can cause you to make the same mistakes now in your present. So understanding your past, understanding and making peace with the things that have happened up to this point is an absolute necessity. If you don't want to live there anymore, right? Like that's why most people get stuck there. It's like something they can't make peace with. And so make peace with that. Figure it out. Meditate. Go to therapy. Like I said, practice. Talk about it. Get it out. Understand it. Really, the easiest way to let go of something is to understand it, right? Yesterday I put something out on my story that said happiness isn't about being happy. It's about reconditioning those bad shit, right? It's like when traumatic experiences happen to you, it's about understanding and putting them in the right place for your life, right? Filing them away in the right place of your life, right? Filing them away is like finding out why, as bad, as hurt, as painful as it was, why was that a good thing for you? Like, why is that something that has propelled you forward or made your life different, right? Or changed the course of your story in some way, and how is that going to be a benefit to you? When you reconditioned that and said, you know what, like, and I'm going to take it horrible here. You know, I was touched as a little boy, and that shit fucked me up bad. You know, like my uncle touched me for 10 years and shit. That shit happens out here, right? Your uncle's not here right now. You know, like it's not happening to you physically right now. So the pain comes from our constant rehashing of that and have never settled that. We still think it's our fault, or why did it happen to me, or whatever. You know, we're asking ourselves all these questions, and all this lack of understanding of why that happened to you causes you to replay it over and over and over and try and figure it out over and over and over. But it's hard, it's painful, so we don't do the real work to put it to bed, right? So, how do you do that, right? Like I said, like if you something traumatic, you broke your leg, somebody touched you, your mom died, whatever it was that was super, super painful, super, super hard, it's not happening anymore, right? That's why it's in the past. And so, really, it's only paining you in your mind. So what do? We have to figure out, how do we let that go? How do we come to an understanding? This is why people go to therapy. This is why people talk to others, because other people can offer a perspective, right? Other people have been through every traumatic experience that you've ever been through. There's somebody else out there who's experienced it. I'm almost guarantee it. And if they haven't experienced exactly what you experienced, they've experienced something similar or greater, right? And so in that, you can find power, because you're like, well, hey, look, This person is living free. This person is loving the moment. This person is understanding that all of that's dead. Dead time, dead place, dead people, all gone, right? No effect on me. I have no effect on it anymore. It's only in my mind, right? And so they let go of that. And so you can do that too. If there's somebody who's like that, who's stuck in that past, I beseech you, please go talk to somebody. Read, study, learn, think about it, meditate. I know it's painful, but you have to get through it. You have to understand it, make peace with it so you can move forward, right? Cool. And then so we're trying to get to the present, right? And then the people in the future, same thing. I had to learn to put the future in its proper place, right? I was always living in the future, and so what that was causing me to do was never get anything done in the present, right? Never be present. I was always plotting, scheming, planning, dreaming, wishing. Oh, when I get popping, it's gonna be big. Here's another thing about future mindset. I don't need to save money. I don't need to be good at money right now because one day I'm gonna be rich. So I'll just put everything on credit cards. I'll just keep putting it all off until I'm rich, which is a poor mindset, by the way. I just learned this like a couple months ago, but nonetheless, But that was a fault of always thinking that the future has the power to solve all of my problems for me, right? The future is where this is true, but if you live there all the time, and that's always where your head's at, is in the future. Oh man, this is people. Oh man, when I get this book done, man. Oh, when I write this book, man, I'm gonna sell 1 million copies, man. My shit gonna pop so hard. I'm gonna be on like every stage. I'm gonna be doing like this. Oprah gonna be calling me. And this is it, right? They talking to everybody. Yo, I'm gonna be on Oprah, man. Yeah, as soon as I get this book written, dog, Oprah and shit, it's gonna be time in the book. Nigga, when you write a book? You should be writing a book. If all of those things are gonna happen for you in the future, you can't be right now just sitting around wishing, hoping, and thinking about you need to be writing a book. Like that's what you have to do in the present moment to manifest that future, right? And so you don't not go to the future. The future is a great place. The future is where you're gonna go for all your motivation, all your inspiration. Because some days you're gonna be writing a book and it's gonna be fucking hard. And you'll be like, God, why am I doing this? Like in the present, right? In the present, there's no riches. There's no rewards. It's just hard work right now in the present. So sometimes you gotta stop and be like, oh, that's right. Yeah, in the future, I get all those things if I do the work. Okay, all right, cool. All right, I'll do it, right? But if you don't have no vision of the future, this is why they always say if you're gonna be successful, you have to have a vision for the future, because why would I sit here and do all this bullshit? Like if I just, you know what I mean? Why, if you didn't actually think that working out would get you a fit body, you would not go to the gym. Like there would be no reason. You wouldn't sweat and blood and tears and cry and pain if you didn't have some expectation that it was gonna give you some type of benefit, some type of health, some type of fitness, something, right? So having that vision that you can go to like, yeah, this is what I'm doing it for, bitches. That my future that I'm working towards, that I know is out there, it's there, I've seen it in my mind, that's where I'm going, but today, I gotta do this bullshit. But I'm excited to do this bullshit. I'm excited because I've seen the future. I've seen what this bullshit gets me. Okay, and so that's why I use the future as my meditation time mostly, right? In meditation, in creative visualization, in planning, and thought processing, right? You have to be able, if you want to create things, you have to be able to see in your mind what you're trying to create. So if you cannot see your business, right, it's gonna fail. Right? If you don't have a plan, if you have not forethought it, it's gonna fail, right? Because you're not working towards a successful vision. You're just doing shit with no regard, right? You see how no one place works by itself. You can't just be all present. Because if you're all present, you don't know where you're going, right? You're not learning from anything that's happening to you. You just keep doing the same dumb shit over and over and over, wondering, well, I don't know why it's not working for me, right? So you gotta have all three, but you gotta know where and when and how to use them. So the future propels you, excites you. The past taught you, you learn from. The present is where you do your work. The present is where you live your life. Being propelled by your future, right? And so that's the hardest part. That's the mastery level, is to not just get to the present, which is hard in itself. It's so hard to be present. I'm gonna give you some tips and some tools to like work on presence here right after this, but it's hard to be present alone. But having a vision for your future, putting your past in the proper place, and learning to live in the present, those three things are full mastery, right? And so right now, most of us, like we talked about, are just having a problem with how do I get to the present moment, right? How do I experience and learn and love the present moment? And so I want to talk to you about how do we get to that presence. Because once I visualize the future, once I know what I'm doing, I feel like comfortable and all good and warm and gushy inside about it, then I try and live the rest of my day in the present moment, right? In my conversations, I try and be present. I try to be with the person, talking to that person, listening to that person, interact, not, I wonder what this person thinks of me, like not in the future or in the past, oh, the last time me and this person got together, it was bad, or you know what I mean? I'm right there with it. Same thing with my work, right? I'm like, if I'm gonna be successful, if everything's gonna be awesome, today, right now, I gotta figure out how to focus on this one project and how to fucking edit this together and how to fix this one little problem. I have to be here, right now, on this, right? And so, presence, how do we get to presence, right? How do we practice presence? Well, I think presence is really easily done by getting out of your mind, right? Getting out of your mind. Because like I said, your mind, it tends to do that. It tends to wander back and forth, right? Things want to come up from the past. Your subconscious starts pulling up things. We'll talk about more about this in pattern recognition and RAS later on in the week. But your brain wants to make these links, and it wants to be sitting here constantly pulling information from the past and the future and making it all work together, right? That's what your brain wants to do. So, getting out of your brain can really make you present, right? And so one thing I do, like a thing I like to do about presence is like, try and feel your skin, you know? Like try and feel the air on your body right now. Like, is it cool? Is it warm? Is it just kind of like room temp? Does the air around you feel kind of like stale, or is it fresh? You know, what are you experiencing right now in your senses around you, right? Like, can you hear? What can you hear, right? Ask yourself, what can you hear? I always think that presence is interesting because when you're meditating, right, you'll hear a sound. But then you start hearing these sounds that you don't normally hear, like the AC running, or like a bird chirping like hundreds and hundreds of feet away, you know? You're hearing those sounds all the time, but you're not present, right? You're not paying attention to those. You're not focusing on that stuff. And so it's not there. It's not there. But when you quiet yourself and you concentrate on what's happening, what you're experiencing right now, what are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you tasting? Like these things can make you so present. Try it with food. I try this with food all the time, right? I get something good. You get some good ass food, what do? Badass plate of food come in, right? This is what you're gonna do. I guarantee you, everybody does the same thing. Badass plate of food come in, they're gonna take a picture, put that shit on the gram, right? Hey, look at your boy eating good. And then you just devour it. And you say it's good, you're like, oh, this is so good. Yeah, isn't that good? And you just munch it down, right? Try this. Next time you get some amazing food, look at that shit. It's really look at it. Really appreciate the work that went into it. The preparation, the time. Look how crispy that bun is. Then you grab it, whatever it is, a burger, it could be a veggie salad or whatever, but perfectly proportioned dressing. Take you a bite and savor every fucking bite all the way down to your stomach. Just do it. That particular sour taste right there. Dang, that kick of the capers right there at the end. Dang, that shit's hot, right? A lot of people can't do this. That's why you see people who are sommeliers and wine tasters and stuff. Do they have anything you don't have? They tasting wine just like you. The only difference is they're so present in that moment of tasting that wine that they're pulling out so many individual details of it, right? There's details in life that we miss so much because we don't get into the mess of it, right? We just eat. That meal was good. But what about every individual bite inside that meal, right? Did you taste when your fries actually went cold? Or was it just like, oh, no, that was all good, right? And so these are ideas, ways that we can get into the present is by picking out very specific experiences that we're having right now, right? How you feel right now. Not how you're supposed to feel because of the things that happened to you in your past, right? That's how most people are. Every day they're feeling what they're supposed to feel based on all the things that happened to them or have built them so far. But how do you actually feel right now? Where people be like, oh, I'm hurt and this and that of pain. How much? Real pain? Like, is it like crippling pain or is it just kind of pain? And where is that pain? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it there? Where? And then once you've gotten so present that you can pick out these little details, think about how much power you have now, right? Instead of just going to, like, and I'm just using random examples that I see, but like say pain. People be like, oh, my back hurts. How? Hurts here, hurts there, because going to the doctor and saying my back hurts, and you say, they say, well, where's it hurt? Oh, it's just all over, man. Well, every time I get out of bed, man, it's my whole back, man. I can't even walk, man. My back, man. They're gonna figure out something that's wrong with your back just to get you to shut the fuck up. They're like, okay, here's some ibuprofen, it'll probably get better. But maybe you do have some shut the fuck up, but if you can say, look, doc, it hurts when I stretch like this, it hurts this much, from here to here, I'm present, and I'm aware of exactly what kind of pain I'm having. Man, they might, oh, well, that's your sciatic. Yeah, of course, here, we'll give you this special massage, and the next thing you know, you're actually better. But I'm just showing how it can be effective if you actually taking the time to be present, right? When you, in conversations, people always like, I have social anxiety. It's so hard for me to talk to people or I guarantee you I can figure out like 9 times out of 10 why you feel that anxiety. Because you're not thinking about the conversation. You're not enjoying the moment. You're not enjoying that person's company. You're thinking, what does this person think about me? What does everybody else think about me? What do I think about myself in this moment? The last time I was in a situation like this, everybody laughed at me. So they're probably gonna laugh at me again now. This dude is probably way too smart for me. You know, we're in our head about what he did in his past to make him this person now, what you did in their past to make you the person now, and what's gonna happen in the future from this conversation if you fuck it up, or if it goes well. Oh, this person's really influential. If this conversation goes well, we're gonna be the best of friends, and he's gonna make my shit pop. So I gotta make sure I'm really cool right now in this conversation. You know how fucking hard it is when you're thinking about all that shit to actually be a cool person? Impossible, right? So stop. Don't think about all that shit. You're cool. You're just as cool as I am. Everybody's just as cool. It's impossible to have social anxiety, right? And this is what I mean by that. No offense. I'm just saying. You're around people your whole life. You've never not been around people. So there's no way that over 20, 30, 15, 16, I don't care how many years, that you didn't develop a skill of being around people, right? That's gotta come. You have to. There's no way you could not. So what's the problem? What are we having? It's in our mind. Living in the future and the past. Be the present. Listen to that person. Be interested in what that person's saying. I fucking this and that. I own blah, blah, blah. That's cool. Learn about that. Do you own one of those? No? Then ask them. Man, that sounds tight. Where'd you get one? How'd you get something like that? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I never done nothing like that. I'm not trying to be nothing I'm not. Like, I'm just here. This is me. In present moment, Rod, broke. You're tight. You're popping. I'm not. That's okay. I'm okay with that. You okay with that? I'm okay with that too. And then guess what? They're like, damn, this motherfucker's cool. He ain't nothing. He's not trying to be nothing. A lot of people think you're so cool because you're not tied down with the same stress and worries that they are. They're like, man, this person free. How do you get so free and relaxed and happy and excited? Presence. I'm here. Y'all are not. Everybody else worried. Everybody else stressing. Everybody else thinking. I'm just here. I'm just enjoying the moment. You're gonna like me or not. I don't care. I'm not thinking about the outcome of this conversation. Like in my mind, it's not like, is this person gonna like me or not? That's a result. I'm not worried about that. I'm just here. I'm just talking. I'm gonna say what I got to say. I'm gonna say it in the way I'm gonna say it. You're gonna say what you got to say, and you're gonna like me or you're not. And then guess what I'm gonna do? Step to the next present moment. And so in this same example of like the relationship, say we do hit it off in the first conversation, we're cool. And they're like, hey, come out to Aspen with me. I'd love to go skiing with you. And all right, let's go. And now we're in the next present moment. And now we're skiing in Aspen. Good, bad, ugly, don't give a fuck. I'm here. No fear, right? Well, what if you break your leg skiing? I'm gonna break my leg, I guess, and we're gonna figure it out then. But I'm not gonna sit here and worry. What if I don't? What if I'm a skiing champion? What if I know how to do a backflip immediately? I don't know, right? So I don't live in that future all the time of like, what if this or what if that or how's this gonna work out? I just do shit in the present, right? Things that I feel are pulling me towards my future, the future that I see for myself, right? I see myself as an honest, happy person. So that's what I do right here in the present moment. You wanna be honest, happy? You wanna be open, communicative? You wanna be, well-connected, enjoying, enlightened, whatever? Be that right now. How do you practice that? Right now, where you're at with what you have. In this present moment. You don't have no money. right? You want money, you want to be rich, you want to be famous. You don't have none of that shit right now? Fine, what do you have right now that you can do? What do you have right now in this present moment? What skill, what talent, what connection, what anything, there's something. What friend that you had that you could convince to go on this stupid journey with you? You have something. If you didn't have anything, you wouldn't even be visualizing this. You wouldn't even think that was possible for you. So you have something now, and you just got to build to that, right? So start working now where you are, right? And so I hope that was powerful to you guys. Time perception. Don't get lost, right? Don't get lost, baby. Realize and practice with your time perception. Say, okay, I'm gonna relive my prom real quick. On your meditations, lay back and relive your prom. What did it smell like? Who was your date? Did you have fun? How come it didn't go the way you thought it would go? How come you didn't get that kiss at the end? Whatever. Replay it. Learn what you want to learn. Go into the future. Create a vision for yourself. Imagine yourself being... I imagine myself all the time speaking to thousands of people. I come out, hey, and our next speaker, Rodtheplanter. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm really happy to be here. Came all the way from Australia last night. It was amazing. And I'm really excited to be here with you guys and talk to you about time perception today. Boom, I'm there already, right? So practice with that. And then practice being present. Practice all the time. The taste of my food right now. The air on my skin right now. Every now and then, every party I go to, every time I'm doing something really, really awesome, like climb Mount Everest, whatever I'm doing, I always take 1 minute to get by myself. I step outside. This is why I used to like smoking. Obviously found healthier ways, but I would get out by myself and just have a moment to just appreciate what's happening for me right now. Like I'm like, yeah, this is good. Awesome. All right, back to it. So do that, baby. Practice, learn, grow. I love you so much. Come back for the rest of the week. We're going to talk about some other stuff about like reticular activating system. We're going to talk about pattern recognition. We're going to talk about the body-mind connection. I'm super excited about that one. Just all kinds of stuff like this is that, just like this, about ways that your brain's doing this already. There's nothing you need to your brain's already doing this. I'm just teaching you how to use it, right? So I hope that was powerful or useful to you in some way. I can't wait to go back and read through all y'all's comments. I obviously didn't get a chance to do that while we was jamming. But the daily grind-ish, almost daily grind is back, baby. And I'm here for you. So hit me up, ask me questions, work with this stuff, practice. I promise you, I guarantee you, it will change your life. If you do not believe me, if you do not believe the words, go look at the proof, man. I got video after video after video, and you could just see the progress. You could just see the growth. And then you can see for yourself, man, I was using this stuff, working with my time perception. All right, love you. Peace.